This is the display unit which we have planned. As we grow, we will have to display the products shelf space like that. And this is the main incubation hall, where we planned that the startups will be here, the rented space basically. These are some of the startups as of now, which we had optimized the best one.
This is the actual hall where this actual display and the interaction and the demonstration and any incubation or any testing. So this is the actual. So here a few of our startups has come. So we will be coming and we will have our interaction with them. But after the inauguration, because online they will be ready and we have very limited program. So we will not be late and they have complete our thing there. And this is all. This is display. When we have some success stories and this is.
So this is one of the best startups as of now. Monica team.
We have our startup and they have come and they will be interacting with you and we will spend some time with them. And but not now. After the inauguration, yes. And I think this is our So here all the facilities, everything is there. So meeting room, one meeting room. This is the boardroom. Here all these officials who are associated with this project, with this. So this is a very good facilities which have come, and the third floor is there, so it will be the precision agriculture. So I think will be constructing, but not now. This is not yet completed. So here everything is there. Going for this precision-based sensor-based some development, and many of our colleagues who are working with this and associated with this program along, all those people will be.
So third floor is open as of now, or it is open, sir. Yes, I mean the flooring has been done, and the laboratory space has been created. Only the equipment.
No, it is not for Nabad.
No, it's not for
It is for precision agriculture. It is no nothing will be there. So whatever will be Nabad related activities will be there. It will be the ground floor, which is exclusively.
Hello. I guess Honorable Chairman NABARD and Deputy Managing Director NABARD, they are. DN is not here today. Fine, he's not here. Fine, fine. Then we'll go with the as the. Okay. Sir, to all the honorable delegates online, Professor V.K. Tiwari, Honorable Director, IIT Kharagpur, Mr. Nirmal K. Bhardwaj, eminent alumnus, IIT Kharagpur and Board of Directors of EBIF, IIT Kharagpur, Professor Poonam Tripathi, Dr. Avinash Joshi, and I would just like to request, it's a cordial request, could you just please respond so that we could know that you're online? Just a voice or maybe some activity from your side so that we can know. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot, sir.
Yes, we are online.
Yes.
This is Avinash Joshi here.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay,
Yes,
thank you, sir. Thanks a lot, sir. Sir, we are waiting for the Honorable Chairman NABARD. So the moment he comes online, we will start the inauguration program. Unfortunately, due to some unavoidable reasons, Deputy Managing Director NABARD won't be there with us. But I mean, we still can go with the program. And fine. Thank you. Nirmal sir, are you audible? I mean, can you hear us?
Yeah, yes, sir. I'm available.
Thank you, sir. Thanks. Dr. Avinash Joshi. Avinash, sir, you audible? I mean, am I audible, sir?
Yes.
Thank
yes.
you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
We have one more delegate, Board of Directors, Mr. K.V. Iyer. Good morning, sir. This is Nishant Tiwari, CEO of ABIF IIT Kharagpur, sir. It's a cordial welcome to you. We extend our cordial welcome to the online inauguration.
Good morning, Tiwari, and all the very best. And good morning, my friends. Yeah, looking forward to the function.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot, sir.
Yes, we shall start in another 2 minutes. So may I please request our head, Professor Rintu Banerjee and Professor C.S. Kumar, and also the Deputy Director, Professor Amit Patra, on the dais, please.
Wait, Karan.
Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. A very good morning to our chief guest, Honorable Chairman of NABARD, the presiding authority, Honorable Director of IIT Kharagpur, distinguished delegates from NABARD, celebrated academicians of IIT Kharagpur, authorities, colleagues, the incubatees, and my dear friends. Today, the 4th of July 2022 marks for the inaugural ceremony of Agri Business Incubation Foundation IIT Kharagpur, a Section 8 company within IIT Kharagpur, hosted by the Agricultural and Food Engineering Department and sponsored and supported by NABARD. We shall now commence the function with a floral welcome of the dignitaries on the dais. I would like to invite the ABI manager of ABIF IIT Kharagpur, Ms. S. Mohrana, and Ms. Ritu Prem to do the floral welcome of the CGM NABARD RO Kolkata, Dr. A.R. Khan. Applause, please. A heartfelt welcome of the CGM NABARD RO Kolkata, Srimati Usha Ramesh. A very warm floral welcome for the Deputy Director, IIT Kharagpur, Professor Amit Patra. A wholehearted welcome of the Head, Agricultural and Food Engineering Department, IIT Kharagpur, Professor Rintu Banerjee. A very warm welcome to the Professor C.S. Kumar, Head of RMSOEE. Next, please welcome the General Manager, NABARD, Kolkata Regional Office, Ms. Deepmala Ghosh. A heartfelt welcome of the DDM NABARD, Paschim Medinipur, Mr. Akash Sharma. And last but not the least, a bouquet of flowers for the Chief Executive Officer, ABIF IIT Kharagpur. So we have missed one of the delegates. A warm floral welcome of the Lead District Manager, Punjab National Bank, Mr. Shubhankar Mahanta. He's one of the PMRC members of ABIF IIT Kharagpur. For a special welcome of the NABARD officials, I would request the Deputy Director IIT Kharagpur, Professor Amit Patra, to kindly present the mementos as a souvenir from IIT Kharagpur. So, yes. Okay. So we shall do the memento presenting ceremony later. So next we have, moving ahead, we have the Saraswati Vandana. So Goddess Saraswati is an embodiment of wisdom, knowledge, and learning. Let's seek her blessings on this auspicious occasion and commence with Saraswati Vandana.
या
With the blessings of Goddess Saraswati, moving ahead, I would like to invite the Chief Executive Officer of ABIF IIT Kharagpur, Mr. Nishant Tiwari, on the dais to deliver a welcome address in this wonderful occasion.
Thanks a lot, Sonal. Thanks for inviting me. Very good morning to all of you. It gives me a great pleasure to invite and welcome Honorable Chairman NABARD, Dr. G.R. Chintala, Honorable Director of IIT Kharagpur, Professor V.K. Tiwari, and Chief General Manager, West Bengal Regional Office, Dr. A.R. Khan, Chief General Manager, WB Regional Office, Srimati Usha Ramesh, General Manager Srimati Deepmala Ghosh, Deputy Director of IIT Kharagpur, Professor Amit Patra, Head of the Department of Agriculture and Food Engineering, Professor Rintu Banerjee, eminent faculty members of the department and other dignitaries who are present here physically and through online mode to the inauguration ceremony of the building of IIT Kharagpur. It is said that a journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. The first Indian Institute of Technology was born in 1950 in Hijli IIT Kharagpur in the eastern part of India. Initially, the IIT started functioning with from 5 Esplanade East, Kolkata, and then it shifted to Hijli in 1950, September. Since 1951 to this day, this premier institution of academic and research excellence has taken strides in contribution to the development of the country and creating some of the most brilliant engineers, scientists, and scholars of global repute. In fact, an AI-based system to process Sanskrit-based text and a rapid diagnosis test for COVID-19 are some of the recent technological inventions and innovations from the professors and scholars of this institute. When coming to the field of agriculture, the Agriculture and Food Engineering Department of IIT Kharagpur was created in the year 1952, foreseeing the technological interventions that were required at that time when the country had newly gained its independence. Coming forward to this day, entrepreneurial strides in various sectors have taken place, and agriculture has not been left behind. With the large support from the current government, with the nominal gross domestic product at current prices, which is estimated to be at rupees 232.15 trillion, which is equivalent to 3.12 trillion US dollars, India is the third largest unicorn base in the world with over 100 unicorns with a total valuation of $332.7 billion. With the success rate which we are seeing today, I'm sure that we will be the next global hub for innovation, entrepreneurship, and startups. Although most of the business models in other verticals like health tech, fintech, climate tech, education tech are scalable, most because of their attraction to the general masses, but any business model in agriculture and related sectors is resilient in the long term, which has been realized by many investors and thinkers ranging from the Indian investors and to the VCs globally. The thrust is we cannot simply neglect food. There is a Sanskrit saying, Annam Bahu Kurvit, which means grow and give food in plenty, and that was a motto and philosophy in our ancient times. With the looming food crisis all over us, because of our arable lands getting depleted due to economic development, soil erosion, climate uncertainty, we need innovative solutions to solve these problems. ABIF IIT Kharagpur is a noble initiative in this direction, and we have been fortunate to have NABARD's and IIT's infrastructure, technical, and financial support. Since its humble beginnings last year, we have been successful in training and mentoring over 20 startups and more than 1,000 farmers. ABI's sole USP, which is unique selling proposition, stands for its technical mentoring, which is rare to come across thanks to the host institution on which it stands. We strive to support, nurture, and incubate ideas and concepts and take them towards creation of viable ventures through business plan, marketing trials, product market fit, and product development, etc. I look forward to the continuous support, promotion, and guidance from all the dignitaries present in order to make this venture a sound success. With all things being considered and this being said, this is what I would like to mention about ABIF's IIT Kharagpur. Thanks to the Honorable Director and Chairman NABARD and Chief General Manager of West Bengal, RO Kolkata, who were the key stalwart and functionaries right from the beginning of this initiative. Agriculture is a domain which has been considered for a long time just for the masses that we have to feed them. But current solutions, current innovations which are happening, these are the benchmarks or the harbingers of the future, where the major governments, the most advanced nations, are facing problems of food crisis, soil erosion, climate uncertainty issues, and these problems have to be solved because the next wars or whatever economic crises will happen because of water and food. So India being a primarily an agricultural country, and we have implement institutions, engineers and scientists with that kind of base, we have that kind of technical understanding in the background where we can create solutions not only for this country but also for the globe. With that being said, I end my welcome speech with a cordial invitation to Honorable Chairman of NABARD, Dr. G.R. Chintala, to grace this occasion by inaugurating the ABI building online. So we request you to kindly click on the inaugurate link. With that going forward, I request the anchor, Ms. Sonal, to please come over the dais and take over the session. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. Thanks to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Agribusiness Incubation Center is blessed to have Professor H.N. Mishra as its professor in charge and nodal officer, who has directly guided and supported in all the endeavors of the foundation, especially in drafting and establishing concrete incubation policy guidelines for the smooth operations of the foundation. However, due to some unavoidable prior commitments, Professor H.N. Mishra is unable to join the inaugural ceremony today and has kindly requested the head of the department, Agricultural and Food Engineering, Professor Rintu Banerjee, to address the event on his kind behalf. Madam Rintu Banerjee has numerous awards and accolades on her name. She is also the head of Center for Rural Development and Innovative Sustainable Technology, a laureate to the department and institute. May I please request the Director of ABIF and the HOD AGFE, Professor Rintu Banerjee, to address the occasion.
Good morning to all of you. Dr. Chintala, Professor V.K. Tiwari, Director, IIT Kharagpur, our Deputy Director, Professor Amit Patra, Dr. A.R. Khan from NABARD, Madam Usha Ramesh from NABARD, the dignitaries who have come from NABARD, the officials who have come from NABARD, the administration, the authorities of IIT Kharagpur, the different deans, and the professor in charge of different activities of IIT Kharagpur, the participants, my dear students, my dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. I have been told to give the inaugural address, and in this occasion, I would like to tell that, yes, you have briefly heard about the history of NABARD in IIT Kharagpur. Although the initial days, the progress of the work was not that encouraging, but with time, IIT Kharagpur has taken the speed, and I would like to tell that, yes, since 2021, the building which has to be there was initiated, and it was a little bit slow, but now it is fully functional, and the officials of NABARD who have come and visited that building, they have seen that, yes, it is fully functional, and the Kharagpur IIT team, ABIF, can now take the full responsibility to go ahead with their full speed. And whatever will be the lacuna which we had earlier, I think the opportunities are there to take up those activities, and they will be overcoming those lacuna which they had in the initial year. I think you must be knowing that IIT Kharagpur is always having some different planning of doing the things. ABIF is one of the Section 8 companies where we have appointed our CEO, who is there, who is leading the entire managerial team, who are actively involved in different activities of the center. So, when I'm just talking about the different activities means it includes A to Z agricultural activities which are there, because agricultural engineering department, which was renamed in the year 1994 as Agricultural and Food Engineering, it has got a wide spectrum. It has the faculty members of this department, they are working, they are developing different technologies which are to be disseminated. And in which way it has to be disseminated means it is the extension or application oriented work, which I think this NABARD team may have an active role in disseminating such technologies to the rural India. And being the head of this rural technology center, it is my promise, it is my responsibility to extend my all help and cooperation to this particular NABARD group, NABARD ABIF group, to disseminate this technology to actual rural India. Now, when we are doing this type of activities, you know that there are different aspects. When we are developing some technology, that technology should be low-cost technology so that it can be well accepted to the common people, and the person who are associated with them should have a managerial capacity, should have some exposure of the managerial activities of that particular associated technology. And for that only, we have associated this group with RMSOEE, that is our Entrepreneurship Development school, where the faculty members, they are giving a suitable training for entrepreneurship development, and what are the different aspects which may come up and how to take care of those activities, which I feel is an unique characteristics of the training program which the group of NABARD people, that the representative of NABARD people, they have planned. So I think if the program or the planning is very well thought of plan, then its execution will not have much problem. And with that particular thing, we are going ahead, and I have a firm belief that with this particular planning, if the group is going ahead, the target which has been given by NABARD to IIT Kharagpur will be getting fulfilled, and I think the lacuna or the shortcomings which we had in the initial year can be overcome. So with this few words, I would like to welcome you all for this inaugural program. And I must tell this thing that yes, we were very much waiting for Dr. Chintala to be here in today's program, but somehow he could not make it. But sir, we are missing you very much, and we wanted you to be here, but in future I think we will be getting you in this particular NABARD associated program. And today our director is also not there, he is also present online. So we are also missing you, sir. So you should have been here so that it would have got a different flavor. So I welcome you both here for this program. Last but not the least, a tree is known by its fruits. And Mr. Nirmal Bharadwaj is the product of IIT Kharagpur. And I must tell this thing that, yes, how productive the IITians are, and how much gratefulness I have from the core of my heart. I'm telling this thing in front of all of you, that until and unless Mr. Bharadwaj was there and he had extended his advices, his comments, his critical reviews on the activities of this program, IIT would not, or this team would not come to this level, which is very much needed for this particular thing. And in future also, Mr. Bharadwaj, I need that type of critical comments from you. And with that, I would like to invite all the other members who are there. Dr. Iyer, I have a very short interaction with you, but I know that, yes, in your gracious presence and with the advices from all of you, I think my team, my department will be playing an important role for setting up of these activities in IIT. And it will be giving an exemplary precedence that, yes, IIT Kharagpur has done this, and in this way one should go ahead for achieving the goal. And with this, I thank you all for, last but not the least, yes, my special thanks to my colleagues who are actively participating in this NABARD activities. I would like to specially mention the name of the Professor Hibsur Rahman, my very good colleague, Professor Evie Thomas, Professor Ken Tiwari, Professor R. Bachavaram, Professor Piyush Roni, Professor Som Shubhra Chakraborty, and all the other members whose name I'm not mentioning, and they are actively participating in extending the technologies which they are developing and that are ready for dissemination. And with that, I would like to thank you all for this particular program to be. And today, we have 20 such entrepreneurs who are there within a very short span of time, and we will be reaching to our goal very shortly. And with that, I would like to thank you all for this program. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for the kind words. We are fortunate to have Professor C.S. Kumar here with us. He's a stalwart of robotics, control systems, and computer networks at IIT Kharagpur. May I please call on the dais Head of Rajendra Mishra School of Engineering Entrepreneurship of IIT Kharagpur, Professor C.S. Kumar.
Good morning, everyone. Particularly to the Chairman NABARD, Shri Chintala Garu, Honorable Director, Professor V.K. Tiwari, sir, our Deputy Director, Professor Amit Patra sir, the Chairman from the CGM from NABARD, Dr. A.R. Khan sir, Srimati Usharani sir, Madam, and so many others who are here, for this occasion. Thank you, Professor Rintu Banerjee, also to introduce me briefly in the other. So I'll not talk much about myself, but I'm very happy to be here with this program right from the beginning, which I've seen that NABARD, IIT Kharagpur, the Agriculture Department, and it giving shape to this Agribusiness Incubation Center. And today, seeing a building in front of us getting ready to host all the events is a momentous thing to observe. I congratulate everyone to have make this happen, particularly since I've seen it almost from the time I was also associated with the School of Engineering Entrepreneurship way back in November, December of 2020, when we saw in the initial meetings when I was there, some of the requirements of this center, incubation center, were discussed, and from then onwards till now what we are seeing is a very rapid change. It's a very rapid change, and the building there and a foundation being ready, a Section 8 company with its foundation and a CEO also being there is truly speaking that we are going in the right direction. In fact, I have also learned in this process, and we have been observing the national policies along with the rest of the members who are there on the board of this ABIF, that it is needed that we should have a Section 8 company to promote these kind of incubatees and entrepreneurial activity. IIT Kharagpur did not have such a strong infrastructure or the concept in place earlier. But seeing this happen through this agriculture business incubation center is one of the first ones, I would say, is giving the shape for this structure. I can see that, and having followed the policies, I must congratulate the team. Seeing this, it's very vital that unless we follow this route, we will not be in a position to create new companies, new ventures who could be successful in themselves, bring back value, money, ventures, wealth creation, and plow it back to the system such that you can have more of such happening in future. That was the concept behind the way we should incubate companies and entrepreneurial ecosystem. The government of India, through its Startup India scheme, all that has been actively promoting it. We do have an educational program to support this, and just having an educational program does not suffice. We need to have a live, active organizational support, and I'm sure that this ABIF will be able to take care of that, and I can see its elements taking shape. We from our school, the Rajendra Mishra School of Engineering Entrepreneurship, have also realized that if we don't strengthen our educational ecosystem for this, it won't help. So we have brought in, just this year only, we are happy to introduce a master's program. It's called Technology Innovation and Entrepreneurship, TIE, and its normal entry is through GATE, and it is a 2-year program with 1 year education teaching part, and then there is a 1-year project period in which you can actually start your companies and work with. So this has been a new program which has been started, and I think it is very apt and useful to all the incubatees, all the companies which are trying to form under various incubation centers. This being amongst the first one to take shape in IIT Kharagpur in a proper form, I would invite all the members who are joining under this, whether be it at IIT Kharagpur's ABIC or whether be it of any other NABARD's incubation centers across the country, in the state, anywhere else, we will be happy to give them, they can join in our program, in the MTech program for 1 year, and then do the right kind of courses, be it across all kind of technology, innovation, all entrepreneurial, marketing, business plan preparation, pitching, and all that in a very compact manner. And they can also make utilization of the courses available across the various departments of this institute, particularly here in agriculture, and many other departments offering automation and other kind of courses also. With these few words, I would end this one, and I'm happy once again to state that I'm happy to see that so many things have fit in place so nicely. Few months ago, when I was there at the groundbreaking ceremony or the Nariyal ceremony of this building taking place, I couldn't imagine it will be up so fast, but I'm happy to see that it is full in its normal shape like any other building, hosting everyone, and I'm sure you will all make good use of it. I congratulate the team once again, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to go on.
Thank you so much, sir, for the kind words.
Our program is scheduled for the unity panel sessions.
The occasion is blessed with the esteemed presence of the Deputy Director of IIT Kharagpur, Professor Amit Patra, who is an alumnus as well as an acclaimed faculty of Electrical Engineering Department, IIT Kharagpur. He has been instrumental in achieving the goals and aspirations of the institute on various fronts in the country and beyond. I humbly request the professor to address the occasion, please.
Honorable Chairman NABARD, Dr. G.R. Chintala, Professor V.K. Tiwari, Director IIT Kharagpur, Sri Nirmal Bharadwaj, my senior Dada, and Dr. A.R. Khan, CGM of NABARD from Calcutta, Madam Usha Ramesh, Madam Banerjee, Professor C.S. Kumar, and all other colleagues in the audience, and staff and student friends. A very good morning to all of you, and it's a very nice day, very pleasant occasion for us to be able to inaugurate this NABARD building, which was long awaited. I mean, in the sense that, we have been waiting for it for the last few months, and it's not that, I mean, it's a very, very good project execution, in the sense that normally, especially in the COVID and post-COVID situations, we have had a lot of issues in executing projects of this nature. But thanks to the leadership of our director, as well as all the team members who struggled, every day, I could see that they are very conscious, including our CCM, our construction, civil construction section, and very, it was done almost in a record time, and we are very proud to be able to start the activities today. And on this particular occasion in this meeting, unfortunately, we don't have the presence of Dr. Chintala in person, but he has been the motivating force from behind, and I can, each time I used to meet Professor Banerjee, he used to say, yeah, because I am partially responsible for some of the constructions, and he said, Dr. Chintala is very much keen to have it on time, and so we are very happy that we have been able to do it. Regarding the incubation, the IIT Kharagpur and maybe the IIT system, when it was started, it was thought that IITs will actually spearhead entrepreneurship, and will lead to, the IIT education will lead to the growth of the Indian industry, and also as well as the Indian villages. So we have been successful to some extent, in the sense that many of our alumni, like Mr. Nirmal Bharadwaj, they have gone out, and they have, we have also CEOs like Sundar Pichai, leading global organizations like Alphabet, Google. But Indian community, the Indian public has not probably got directly benefited, especially at the grassroots level. So I think it is a very good initiative from the government now, and especially NABARD has been at it for several years. I know because NABARD has been in as a special bank for agriculture and rural development, and they have been doing their best, and they have been empowering our farmers in the villages with funds, so that they can actually generate their products and then sell it in the market at a reasonable value. But what has happened in the process, the amount of investment that is needed for a kind of entrepreneurship or for or kind of an organization to be sustainable. Now I think we did not have the critical mass, and whenever farmers were getting some funds, they were just spending it on conventional thinking. They simply will buy some seeds and sow them and then use labor and then grow some. And also, as you probably all know, that our especially in this part of the country, in West Bengal area, the land available to each farmer is very, very small. So they have limited ways of thinking. So this is where our agriculture department had done a lot of work. And in fact, I do have my roots in the villages, and whenever I go there, I see a lot of products which are originally designed in IIT Kharagpur, and they are available freely. There is no license fee, nothing. IIT has given it freely to the farmers or those small entrepreneurs who have developed the setup. And particularly the most popular one is the Mudi Bhaja machine, the machine to fry Mudi, and that is very, very successful. In fact, yesterday we did go to one such shop, and we got about 2.5 kilos of Mudi, because it was from a village, so we thought we will buy more, and we brought it. So these things are all available, but it actually does make a difference in the life of one or two individual farmers. But I think we have to grow it beyond that, and that is where this new initiative, this Agriculture Business Incubation Foundation, that is where it has to come in. And one of the also expectation, as we we also do not only agriculture, other areas. Everybody thinks that IIT Kharagpur is like government, so whenever IIT, they are only supposed to help, in the sense that they will give funds, and the people will simply use the funds and do something, and maybe we'll do some social work with that. But these days fund is always tight for everybody, so we cannot really do it as a kind of purely philanthropic basis. So we have to do it on at least on a self-sustaining basis, and that is what this Incubation Foundation is supposed to be. It is a Section 8 company. That means it is a non-profit company. So it will not make profit, but whatever it will do, it has to do it on a self-sustaining process, and it can get technology from IIT. Maybe it can, even in the future, it can also have a license of the technology, and whenever it can generate a market for that, it will actually help the people, and it will train people not only in just taking money from the bank and using it for whatever they know. It has to give new technology, new processes, and to enable them to ensure that the products that they produce, with so much of toil and tears, that does not really get wasted. Like it does not rot because of lack of funds or lack of market. So there must be proper cold storage mechanisms, and the supply chain, the chain which needs to be strong. And also, as far as possible, money should be earned by those who are actually putting in the toil in their efforts, and not by those who are sort of kind of acting as middlemen, and have those who have the funds, and they can buy all the products and then later on sell it at a very high price. Everybody has their role, but it has to be balanced so that the ecosystem sustains. And also, I know many of my farmer friends, I know that they have switched over from paddy, and they have gone on to cash crops. But the government also has a role here, because if everybody goes for cash crops, then who is going to grow paddy? In that case, tomorrow we'll not have any rice. So these things have to be done on a very, very carefully, well coordinated fashion, and especially with proper thinking and proper investment. So the ABIF, the Agriculture Business Incubation Foundation, can play a very major role. It can also help in creating the policies, and I know many of my agriculture department colleagues, they are very much knowledgeable about the agriculture processes and the government policies, and whether some of this needs to be changed. I think we can also consider contributing to that. And with all this, let me just end it on a kind of in a satirical statement. We should not take it literally, but I think we can take lessons from that. As I said, I do have my roots in villages, and whenever I used to go, the boys, we used to be maybe in class 2, 3, very young. The village boys, they used to taunt me, kind of saying that, oh, you are from a town and you think that you make beds with paddy trees or paddy straws from paddy. So whatever we say, we may think that we know a lot, maybe technology-wise or business-wise or whatever, but we have to understand the domain. So if we are going to make a difference in the agriculture domain, all of us must really dirty our hands, go down to the villages, at least see for ourselves what grows where and what has potential, and not just sit on air-conditioned ivory towers and then think that we are able to do a lot for the villages. So with this, satirical statement, of course, I hope we will take it in a positive way. That is because we must learn it, and then only we can make a difference. So with these few words, I wish a great success for the ABIF initiative, as well as the activity in IIT Kharagpur. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for the enlightening words. Moving ahead, we have with us Mr. Nirmal K. Bhardwaj, an eminent alumnus of IIT Kharagpur and IIM Ahmedabad, founder and CEO of Resurgent Agri, and a valuable member of the board of directors of ABIF IIT Kharagpur. May I please request Mr. Bhardwaj to share his wisdom by addressing the event. Sir, kindly unmute.
Honorable Chairman NABARD, Dr. G.R. Chintala ji, Honorable Director, Dr. V.K. Tiwari ji, Honorable Deputy Managing Director in absentia, Shri V.K. Shivaji, Honorable Deputy Director of IIT Kharagpur, Professor Amit Patra ji, Honorable Dr. A.R. Khan, CGM, my colleague on the board, Madam Usha Ramesh, Dr. Rintu Banerjee, Dr. H.N. Mishra in absentia, Professor C.S. Kumar, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor to be part of this auspicious occasion when Agri Business Incubation Foundation is being inaugurated on this august occasion. I must say that this is a commendable effort jointly by the team at IIT Kharagpur and the team at NABARD. And as Professor Amit Patra rightly mentioned, to make this a reality when the whole world has been suffering with the 4 waves of COVID, to create a center of this stature, an institution of this stature, has not been an easy task. I would like earnestly commend the whole team, both from NABARD and IIT Kharagpur, and particularly Madam Rintu Banerjee as a leader, must take substantial and substantive credit for leading this particular venture under the guidance and overall support of our very honorable Dr. V.K. Tiwari ji, who personally, during the COVID phase, has attended several webinars, conducted meetings to assess the progress and give all necessary support with our colleagues on the board, particularly Dr. A.R. Khan and Mr. Devashish Padi, who is not present at the moment. We have worked all together with an utmost professionalism and integrity of thought and action as one unified team. What I would like to submit on this occasion is that ABIF in IIT Kharagpur has come a bit too late. After 7 decades of independence of India, today the largest institutions in technology and agri-finance and agri-activities NABARD have joined hands. So we have a lot of journey to travel together. We have lost 7 decades in the process. IIT is not just a technology institution. It's a cradle of technology, management, life sciences, pure sciences, applied sciences, and hybrid thereof. The complete agri-tech that we talk about today in increasing yield, quality, and returns for the farmers, if it can happen anywhere, it would happen in IIT Kharagpur. IIT Kharagpur is a mother of all IITs. It is this institution which became an example to emulate for the rest of the IITs today, which number upwards of 23. Today, even our director, as you can see, he is nurturing another baby of IIT Kharagpur, which is now IIT Bhubaneswar. It has been nurtured, supported, guided. Our faculty has gone there and worked there. So today you can see our director is virtually holding 2 chairs that he is nurturing and building that institution as well. IIT Kharagpur has done this with all IITs across. Just by saying that we are also an IIT, you don't become an IIT. IIT is a culture. IIT is an ethos. IIT is a value. IIT is an institution of sharpest minds and who have integrity of thought and action. This has not happened over merely by having an emblem and logo. That doesn't make you IIT. Each IIT has its own trajectory. And IIT Kharagpur trajectory is something for other institutions in the country and world to emulate. And complete credit goes to all our colleagues who are on the board in the leadership positions across departments and centers. So NABARD is in absolutely safe hands. They can be rest assured. They must in fact refrain from prescribing to them what ABIF should be doing, because each center of incubation is unique in its own manner. So therefore, what will happen at IIT Kharagpur in terms of leading the way for the world and for India is something which must not be prescribed to as to what it should be doing. Trust you us that the leadership at IIT Kharagpur, the academia, the incubatees, the mentors, the directors, and the rest of the stakeholders will find their own way. What we must not forget, that it is not about building. Building is inanimate. Building has already existed, and it is on the soil of IIT Kharagpur, so there's a land. Land and building is merely symbolic that an institution is being created. It is the throbbing soul and the heart and the mind and the brain of this center, which is going to be sustaining for the decades and the centuries to come. I must tell you that these institutions are not just one-off. These institutions are just not academic institutions. They create new axes of power in geopolitical situations. And let me buttress this to you. Today, coffee and tea is being exported to Russia, and in return, we are getting energy. There is a parity of rupee and ruble happening between India and Russia, and no longer have a common denomination of US dollar. So therefore, the role that we play as an agri institution, agri-tech company, as a tech company, it will have its lot of repercussions for the good of the country. And we are looking forward to becoming a $10 trillion economy in the time to come. What we must understand the importance of agriculture is from the latest G7 summit that took place. And there were 3 vectors that talked about: energy crisis, food security, and counterterrorism. So if the country and the world is looking at food security as one of the major areas of focus, not only for India, for the world. And let me give you some statistics which all of us are aware, but perhaps it'll be a good reminder. We are going to be 10 billion people by 2050. 800 million people die and suffer from hunger and malnutrition globally. 70% of the water, which is so scarce, and people like Mr. Sadhguru are going across the globe telling about saving soil, saving water, etc. The onus lies on us that 70% of the water in human appropriated agriculture is used in agriculture. So can we come up with technologies that we use less water? Only 40% of the land is used for agriculture. It is time that we convert the barren land into a productive agricultural land. Pressure on earth are acute. Need for feed, fuel, food, fiber has never been more acute than what it is today. Millions of farmers, migratory labor, poor farmers are suffering. It is time that we don't make agriculture as a social enterprise. It has to be a commercial enterprise. I was just looking at the other day, 20 rupees a kilo tomatoes in Chikbalapur district, 70 kilometers away from the center of Bangalore, is sold at 50 rupees in the city of Bangalore. So 2.5 times the margin is being taken by somebody who has a small transport. It is time that we nurture rural entrepreneurship. We support it with agri-tech. Obviously, all other stakeholders have a role to play, but the conundrum and the stagnancy of prices and usurping of all the margins that exist between the land until it is sold needs to be released to the rural entrepreneurs, and it has to accrue to the beneficiaries. It would not be fair to underestimate the kind of role all the intermediaries play. We are not against them. The question is, if every focus is on cost of production, today 50% of agriculture is being given subsidy to fertilizers. Some large number of subsidy is being taken by micronutrients. Have they ever underwritten what is the increase in yield? What is the improvement in quality? And what is the corresponding increase in price? Where is the delta margin which is going to accrue after all these subsidies? If we look at millions of tons of soil that has been spoiled in this country and in this world by excessive use of fertilizers need to be looked at. This is our sovereign wealth. NABARD and IIT and all other stakeholders have a major role to play, not only to save our sovereign wealth in the form of soil, water, fertility of soil, etc., but also to make sure that the money that is being pumped in is also goes in the right hands and the actual stakeholders benefit therefrom. So this center is unique. Sir, I want to assure the team at NABARD and at IIT Kharagpur that we, metaphorically called as professors of industry, we are not professors of academia, but we are professors of industry who bring in decades of industry experience, would like to look at agriculture as an enterprise and a viable enterprise, which is not all the time looking for subsidies and then to be written off. We want to be honorable and we want to make profit, and this wealth must accrue to the stakeholders. Having said this, I would like to state that my few words now would not be complete if I don't acknowledge Dr. Banawala, ex-chairman of NABARD, two ex-DMDs, Mr. H.R. Dave and Mr. Amal. It is when they were in office, this particular ABIF was founded. And we are extremely grateful to Dr. G.R. Chintalaji and his colleagues who have continued and with new vigor and with new support have nurtured this. Sir, we will keep coming back to you for your support as always. And now, after having created this center, the time has now come to see that other resources in the form of funding, etc. And I would not hesitate to underscore, we have a very limited funding subscribed in this project for a tall order of closer to 1,200 startups. That leaves a very meager seed money. So my humble submission to G.R. Chintalaji is that kindly look at that aspect so that we can sustain this center in the time to come. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak to this August forum. And this is a journey. We will walk together. We'll work together. We'll make sure that this becomes an institution for the rest of the institutions to emulate. And we will be all part in the process of nation building. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Nirmal Bhardwaj has authored a book on comprehensive approach to optimize coffee yield and quality. Through the hands of our delegates on the dais, I would request them to unveil the book, and may I please call Madam Head to apprise everyone on the book.
Yes, as I have already mentioned, that yes, a tree is known by its fruits. So this is going to be true once again. So Mr. Nirmal Bhardwaj has written a book on comprehensive approach to optimize coffee yield and quality. So this book encompasses various aspects of coffee plantation and various facets like the global and Indian scenario, factors impacting coffee cultivation, plantation management, essentials, yield, quality, scientific perspectives of coffee, value chain, and market recommendation. The content of the book is essentially dedicated to the small grower and migrant worker who are working hard to enhance the yield and quality of Indian coffee. I'm sure that the book will certainly contribute to find a deserving place for the country on the coffee map of the world. I heartily congratulate Mr. Nirmal Bharadwaj and our budding engineers, the final year students who were associated with this particular book for this writing, and I wish a great success. Thank you all.
The Deputy Director has some commitments at this hour, so okay, he's staying here with us. So moving forward, we are very grateful to have Dr. A.R. Khan with us. He has a rich experience of more than 3 decades in development banking, agriculture financing, institutional development, water resource management, and allied domains. For ABIF IIT Kharagpur, he is an immensely important member of the board of directors who has been visiting the campus periodically to guide the ABIF team on operations and to review the status of the building. May I please request the CGM NABARD Kolkata Regional Office, Dr. A.R. Khan, to address the event.
Good morning to all of you. Honorable Chairman NABARD, Dr. Chintala sir, Honorable Director IIT Kharagpur, Professor Tiwari ji, Deputy Director Professor Amit Patra ji, Mr. Kumar, my colleague Madam Usha Ramesh from Calcutta Regional Office NABARD, Professor Rintu Banerjee, Head of the Department, Agri Food Engineering, other senior professors of IIT, my fellow directors, ABIC, who are joining online and offline, CEO of ABIC and his full team of officials, other dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, and other distinguished guests who are present today in this program. Today I am extremely happy to be a part of the inaugural function of ABIC building, which is a joint initiative of NABARD and IIT Kharagpur. On this occasion, I take this opportunity to congratulate Professor Tiwari, Professor H.N. Mishra, Professor Rinku Banerjee, my colleagues from the regional office and head office, and a team of other senior faculty members who have worked tirelessly since the time it was sanctioned in 2019 to make this grant happen. Despite, of course, a few initial hitches. A number of initiatives have since been taken by IIT administration, like formation, registration of the ABIC as a Section 8 company, putting in place very professional board of directors, formation of a highly vibrant and active PMRC, and engaging a full-time CEO assisted by a team of experienced professionals and officials and so on. On the incubation front, I am told that right now 20 incubatees are being assisted, farmers awareness programs were organized, and a series of policies, procedures, operational guidelines have been put in place for facilitating incubation services in an accelerated manner. Friends, this building is not a mere concrete structure, but a platform which offers lots of hope to the millions of farmers and rural entrepreneurs of this region. The center is expected to facilitate agro-technology commercialization by promoting and supporting agribusiness ventures, and making the agriculture more profitable and sustainable through adoption of innovative solutions. These initiatives will benefit the farmers through a new market, products and services customized to the local geography and the commodity. We all know that the agriculture has shown significant progress over the last several years and provided food security to the nation. But the farmer's net income has not grown proportionately to that extent. The cost of production and marketing remains high. The volume of food and agri-produce wastage is alarming, particularly in the case of perishables. And the climate change is adversely impacting the economic development due to the extreme weather events and increasing pressure on the availability of natural resources both in space and time. If I talk of West Bengal alone, the state is a leading producer of several agriculture and horticultural commodities like rice, potato, pineapple, banana, cut flowers, jute, and a large variety of vegetables, besides a huge production of meat, poultry, and fish. However, due to the lack of scale and inadequate post-harvest infrastructure for value addition, sorting, grading, marketing, the farmers are not able to realize their optimal value of their produce. Over 96% of the land holding in the state is small and marginal. In such a situation, the technology-based innovative solutions for the improved crop management, better water use efficiency, effective supply chain logistics and post-harvest solutions, and for the innovative agriculture with focus on scale, quality and efficiency across the entire agri-value chain becomes extremely imperative. Today, there are a large number of entrepreneurs, farmers and FPOs having brilliant ideas to solve some of these problems in agriculture, but they're still struggling for want of incubation services to test their commercial viability of their innovative ventures. With the result, around more than 95% of these startups do not progress further beyond a certain stage. It is in this context that the Agribusiness Incubation Center of this kind assumes importance in helping the rural entrepreneurs and startups through the effective mentoring, guidance, co-working space, technical hand-holding, and commercial validation of their new ideas and new ventures, apart from networking for accessing the legal, financial, and other need, support for upscaling agriculture activities, and benefiting the farming community at large. I am sure the ABIC set up at IIT Kharagpur will rise to the occasion and put in place effective service delivery mechanism through appropriate policies and practices to ensure that the incubatees onboarded by ABIC are suitably facilitated and various deliverables as envisaged in our project are achieved successfully within the reasonable time frame. Going beyond, I am hopeful that in the days to come, the ABIC will make all-out efforts to evolve itself into an institution of international standard for offering a basket of innovative agribusiness solutions with the support and cooperation of the key stakeholders in agri ecosystem. And for this, a comprehensive roadmap, long-term roadmap is required to be thought of by leveraging the domain expertise of IIT professionals and other sector experts, keeping in view the emerging challenges and the natural endowment. Lastly, given the kind of technical knowledge and expertise that the IIT Kharagpur has in its food and agri department and other departments, I am sure the post-incubation, many of the entrepreneurs and startups will be able to shape up their ideas and convert into a commercial agri-ventures, thereby benefiting the farming community and other rural producers immensely. To conclude, let me assure IIT Kharagpur that NABARD West Bengal RO will continue to provide necessary support and guidance to ABIC for its successful functioning and making the transformational change in the agricultural landscape of the region through technology innovations, enterprise development, and farmers endowment. Once again, I thank the director IIT and his team for giving me an opportunity to speak on this historic occasion of inaugurating yet another AVIC supported by NABARD. I wish the AVIC all success in its future endeavor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. All the valuable inputs have been noted. Moving ahead, we are grateful to have the director IIT Kharagpur with us today. He's a proud alumnus, former head AGFE, and a laureate to the institute on several domains of farm machinery and power engineering. Our beloved director has been instrumental in envisioning and shaping this incubation foundation. May I please request Professor V.K. Tiwari to address the event.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning to all of you. I welcome Dr. G.R. Chintala ji, Chairman NABARD. I must say here, Chintala ji, that it is so, for you only, I wanted to have a meeting beyond 5th of July, but somehow or the other it came on 4th of July, and I had to be here on 4th and 5th. I wanted to be here in Bhubaneswar. I'm very sorry that both of us are online, but definitely we should meet and have some sort of interaction, because you also wanted to see the building, and I also wanted to be there together at IIT Kharagpur. Well, I think we will, God is there, God is great. I'm sure we will have an opportunity to have you there at IIT Kharagpur. So I welcome you online, yes. Then we have our Dr. A.R. Khan. I think right from the beginning, Dr. A.R. Khan has been helping us in this center for a long time. And now we have Lady Usha Rameshji. I welcome you, madam. And I'm so happy that both of you are there at IIT Kharagpur. It's good that A.R. Khan Sahab had been meeting me quite often and always seeing the activity. I'm sure Madam Usha will also keep us on our toes and see that the activities of the AVIF will go on continuously. I welcome you, Madam. Then we have other directors of the of this particular ABI Foundation, Dr. Nirmal Bharadwaj. I must not forget him. Dr. Nirmal Bharadwaj, in fact, if I go back to the beginning of this particular ABIF thought, goes back to as early as 2015, later part of 2015, and then in fact it started in 2016 when we were holding an international conference. And Dr. Nirmal Bharadwaj wanted and connected me to his batchmate, Mr. Harish Daveji, who was DMD NABARD at that time. And then, in fact, we had the initial coordination and initial thinking of something of big right from that time. So how can I forget Nirmal Bharadwaji? And in fact, when I was head of the department at that, right from that time, being an alumnus of IIT Kharagpur, I can tell you that this fellow, he was junior to me, but he was always a person pushing, karna hai, kuch karna hai, kuch karna hai. And I can still see, maybe he's close to 60 or so, but I can tell you that he's as young as when he was a 20-year-old or 21-year-old at IIT Kharagpur. So Nirmal Bharadwaj, I am grateful to you, and I'm thankful to you that you are still with us and you will continue to be with us. I welcome you also. We have our very dynamic head of department, Professor Rintu Banerjee. I think I am very proud of her, because from the time she has taken the reins of the department, it's quite obvious. Our deputy director is over here, Professor Amit Patra ji. Professor Amit Patra is also a person from the campus, and I never knew that when he became the deputy director, people wrote to us that both of the alumnus of IIT Kharagpur and campusite boys are running IIT Kharagpur. And then I realized that I was from campus and Professor Amit Patra is also from campus. I'm very grateful that today at least he's there and helping the department, the different departments, and today at the function he is very much there to greet other people who are present there. Well, how can I see that the activity when Professor Rintu Banerjee took up, I think he has picked up each and every thread of what is to do about this department. And as Dr. Khan has said, that this started in 2019. In fact, as I told that 2015, myself and Nirmal Bharadwaj has sown the seeds, and 2016-17, it has started coming up. A proposal was sent, and Nirmal Bharadwaj has inked those proposals. But later on, when I left the headship, after that, I got disconnected. But when I, fortunately or unfortunately, when I took over the reins on 31st of December 2019, I saw that the approval is there, but there is no taking off from there. And lot of hiccups. I think Dr. Khan did mention of some hiccups in the beginning. But with the help of Professor Rintu Banerjee, she had been always thinking that kuch karna hai, because she is a driving force. And in fact, I should tell you that although I am the director of the institute, but when I go to the department, she simply directs me as if I am the faculty. Yes, I am the faculty of the department. So she has been telling that we have to do something, and she wants everything to be done as fast as possible. I think this is in her nature, and that way I'm sure the department will be going to a long distance. Well, when I took over and when I wanted this to happen, Professor Banerjee recommended that Professor H.N. Mishra. Professor H.N. Mishra very readily agreed for taking over the taking over as a nodal officer. And I can tell you that we cannot forget the drive with which Professor Mishra brought it from nowhere to this place, I can tell you. Of course, now he's not there because he has been away for some other work and he's not in a position to come in this function. But I think he has a great role to play and bring it to this level. Then I can tell you that although at IIT Kharagpur we have many other units, but the unit at Rajan Mitra School of Entrepreneurship, which Professor C.S. Kumar is holding today, I think this entrepreneurship will go a long way, along with the ABIC that has been established at IIT Kharagpur to serve the purpose as people are thinking. Well, I think along with these people who are in the dais, off the dais, my faculty friends, the deans and other people who are there present, some of the CEOs I can see, Avinash Joshi ji, who is the CEO of Sati Center, and our own CEOs, Mr. Tiwari, and my faculty colleagues seated over there, and the other people who are online. I have all the board members who are online. I can see KV IRG and other people. I welcome each and every person to this particular function. I am sitting in IIT Bhubaneswar, but my heart is there in this function. So please believe that as if I am there with you. Okay, now you see our Nirmal Bharadwaj has said that the G plus cement, G plus 7 cement, what has said, the recent summit, what has said about the food security. Yes, we have been talking of food security for the last 40 years for that matter. And in fact, if you go back, more than 40 years is this NABARD, more than 40 years. I remember maybe a first person, Mr. Nanda, who had joined from IIT Kharagpur, a tall person, and he said that there is something called NABARD which has been opened and I am joining there. He left his PhD. In fact, he was only BTech, so he had come here for directly doing PhD, but he left his PhD and he joined there. So I know that such a rural development bank was started as early 40s. I'm sure, maybe I may be wrong, maybe Chintalaji will correct me. So more than 40 years or so, such bank is there, but still we find that the development of agriculture and rural development, the way it should have, has not happened. Maybe there might have several hiccups in some way or the other. But I think now I can see for last 7-8 years, things are going very fast, and Chintalaji has a great role in getting several ABI at different locations, and hence it is coming up. So when we are talking of food security, I think today we have about 7.3 billion people in the world, and by 2050, 9.03 billion people are going to be there in the world. How we are going to feed these people? And therefore, it is very essential that we must talk of food security across the globe, across the countries. And in a bigger country like India and China, I think the situation is not that good, particularly in a country, in our country. Somebody has mentioned that our length, the size of the plot is very small. Yes, it is very small. We have to think of the small farmers who are there. We have to think of the small tools and equipment which we are there. We have to think of something to be created right at the in-situ location, at the place where it is being harvested. We find nowadays that yes, the farmers have also understood that simple following a cropping pattern, maybe the previous way of following a cropping pattern is not going to give them enough income. That is why our Prime Minister has started that let us think of doubling the income. In fact, we should be thinking of trebling and 4 times and 5 times how to increase the income of the farmer from crops, from non-farm activities, from other fruits and vegetables, from some of the entrepreneurship which you can create it. And in this line, I think entrepreneurship is the one which comes a bigger way, because many of the unemployed youth, educated and employed youth are still there in the villages. I can see in UP, Bihar, Bengal, several youth. They have the agility. They want to do something. So they are looking for institutions like IITs and institutions like everything. We know, I think somebody said that we have not done really. I think our Deputy Director said that we have not done much for the society. And the question is true. I think we do agree as IITians that yes, we have not done for the society. And here is the time. And as told by Professor Banerjee, that 1952 this department came up. Right from that time itself, immediately after the independence, people thought, and the first IIT when it came, they thought of food security, they thought of agriculture and crop production. So you can think that that was the vision at that time. But now over the period, I think we had more IITs, but nobody has thought of having any other department of agriculture, engineering or food security. I think these are the requirements. So in the EBIC Center and the precision agriculture and food security that we have started at IIT Kharagpur, our head of department, Professor Banerjee knows, Professor Amit Patra. I think because IIT Kharagpur is an institute of eminence, declared institute of eminence, so we have also opened a precision agriculture and food security center of excellence as well in the department. I think the location is yet not declared, but I think we will have to house this also. So we are thinking in this line and in the direction in which the NABARD has come up. I do agree with Nirmal ji that yes, IIT Kharagpur has its own, it's mother of all the IITs, and therefore, although NABARD has its own way of working and creating these entrepreneurs and have the objectives, while we will be carrying out the base objectives of the NABARD, but we should be given flexibility to grow and see that the different entrepreneurs are properly helped. We will follow the technique, as you have said, but that doesn't mean that we should be totoing these and follow, because we have the flexibility. The IITs have been given flexibility. The aim remains same. We would like to have the same thing which you are thinking to reach to the farmers. We have, in fact, at IIT Kharagpur, we have Sathi, which is one of them. Then we have Advanced Manufacturing Center, which is for the manufacturing, Industry 4.0. We have artificial intelligence and cyber physical systems. We are talking of affordable healthcare. We are talking of quality, reliability, and safety analytics. I think we have all these things where we are thinking of quality products. And each time we are thinking of the MSMEs. We know that about 10 lakh MSMEs are there in this country. And unless we look at the MSMEs, we take care of those MSMEs, hand-holding by the bigger industries, it's not possible to grow. It is known that jobs cannot be created. We know that in China, every house there is an entrepreneur and certain products are being manufactured. But in this place, I think we have to create something like that. That is why the government is talking of startups and entrepreneurs and the skill development, skilling, reskilling, and producing the skills, and see that the people are having the details of having some sort of hunar after they pass out. And when we are talking of the national education policy, it has also introduced that even at the BTech level, we are hearing from our industry corporate persons when they come for interview, we hear that, well, they are not industry ready. I think there is something true in what they used to think of, because the theoretical part is being given, but when they go to the industry, they are exposed to all the thing, everything something new. It was true that we had about 8 weeks of training when myself and Professor Bharadwaj, Professor Amit Patra were students. We had 8 weeks of training, but I think that was not enough. And that's why the present national education policy talks of that there should be at least 6 months of exposure to this, or they should be given entrepreneurship. They should go to the industries and see the situation there, understand how to manage these things. I think these are the way which we will be able to have even the engineers who are passing out from IITs, NITs, and even people in IIMs. IIMs people must see what is the supply chain right from the time the food is produced in the market, in the field, and when it goes to the market. I think Nirmal Bharadwaj was talking of the cost of the product. Yes, it is true that the cost of the product, which the farmer who is actually producing, he is not getting that much output. But if the value addition takes place at a later location, then the person who has not toiled, he gets maximum of that. So therefore, the government feels that we should create maybe you can say that some of the clusters in which we can have these things, storage houses. The problem is that food is stored. If it is stored properly and if it is processed in the village clusters, I think it will be easier for them. So we have to create a supply chain in such a way that the villagers, they do produce this thing, store it at their location in the cluster, and after that there should be village-driven another producing unit, and from there should be another unit which will talk of the marketing of the whole thing. So this sort of chain will create lots of jobs at the village level itself. This is what the government of India is talking of. They are thinking that we should not have displacement or exodus of the people from the villages to these cities. We want them to be there at that place. We want the entrepreneurs to be there at their place and create cities in the villages itself. That sort of mentality has to be created. Then only we will have what we used to have, what we used to think of the Biswaguru and all that. Educational institutions, we will have to have the affordable healthcare, which we will have to have. It is not possible that shift the people from the villages to the cities. Cities are getting crowded. All of us know that what is the condition of the cities. And therefore, we are talking of smart cities, clean cities. So it is not possible if these people keep coming for the health, education, and all other activities. So we have to create roads which will reach to the villages so that we can have the equipment which are being designed, developed, and they can go to the farmer's place. I think there are enough opportunities and many things which our friends are coming together to create something like this. And I'm sure that with the help and coordination from NABARD and all my friends at IIT Kharagpur, Head of Department, Professor Banerjee, Amit Patra, my other deans and other people who are there, Dr. A.R. Khan. I know Dr. A.R. Khan is superannuating, but I think he is a man who will be always helping us whenever we need. Madam will be there anyway. Madam Usha Ramesh will be there. Chintalaji will be also helping us, I'm sure, because this is a process, and through that, when Nirmal Bharadwaj will be also there with all the people around, I'm sure that EBIC at IIT Kharagpur will be the best. I'm sure NABARD will tell one day that EBIC at IIT Kharagpur is the best and people should follow the example of IIT Kharagpur, because we are trendsetters. Please remember that we are trendsetters and we have created these things in the past as well. So I think this, with the help of all the EBIC staff who is there, everyone who is there in the department staff and faculty, my institutes, I think we all welcome each one of you and hope that this particular EBIC will be the best in the whole country. Thank you very much. Welcome Chintalaji and all my friends at IIT Kharagpur. Namaskar to all of you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. We are blessed and elated to have the chairman NABARD with us. He's a stalwart and has served in various capacities in bank, including as a managing director of NAPFINS, a subsidiary of NABARD. He is also the chairman of NABARD Consultancy Services, NAPCons Limited, NAB Ventures Limited, and NAB Foundation. He is on the board of prestigious institutions like Institute for Rural Management, that is IRMA, DICGC, and on the advisory board of IIM Ahmedabad. May I please request Dr. G.R. Chintala to kindly address the occasion.
Ankia, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Since everyone is sticking to the time, I think I should not exceed it. So I'm putting a timer for me, maybe 15 minutes. So respected Tiwari ji, Sri Amit Patra ji, Madam Rintu Banerjee, Shri Nirmal Bharadwaj ji, and all others really who have joined this one, students, and besides my colleagues from NABARD Calcutta, Dr. A.R. Khan, the present CGM, and Miss Usha Ramesh, who had just joined, and she is going to be the future CGM of that one, and going to be the one who is going to be associated with the center, and also others who joined from NABARD, and also others, and also students. Actually, it's a really great thing that IIT Kharagpur had come in a very big way into this incubation center. Actually, as Dr. Tiwari and Bharadwaj was telling, that actually a 7-decade-old institution and a 4-decade-old financial institution is coming together is a real great, Ganga Jamuna ka tehzeeb is going to come with this kind of a thing, and we are extremely happy for that. The way actually that NABARD had done this kind of a policy, way back in 2015, actually, that NABARD was looking into as to how the Indian agriculture has to be streamlined and also made profitable. Actually, as everybody was telling, actually, we are having a very good and high amount of a production, but thing is the productivity levels are a kind of a problem, and also the profitability at the individual farmers level is a problem. And whenever we look into the statistics and do the number crunching, we feel that maybe in 1970s, actually, as though everybody was telling that whether you have done enough or not, actually it is not my area of domain, but at the same time, at that time, actually, there was not much of a need to go for this kind of a new innovations, because that time the land was a plenty, the population was less, and also we were producing enough. Green revolution was just taking shape, and so many things were happening. But thing is, as we progressed well, actually we are producing quite a lot and also doing so many things. But the biggest trouble that we are witnessing is that fragmentation of the land holdings. Now, actually, entire country, actually, which was having close to around 40 to 45 people as the small and marginal farmers in 1970s. Today, nation as a whole is having around 86% as the marginal farmers. And West Bengal is even much worse, that is maybe 96%. Actually, now that itself indicates the stress at the farm level, because the small and marginal farmer who is producing quite a lot and efficient at his level, but at the same time, he can't invest in any kind of a technology unless he's assisted in some form or other. That is where I think actually we feel that we need to have a different kind of a system. And also that we have seen that actually this, unless the farmers are collectivized in a big way, I think they cannot sustain the production levels which we are right now having. And also, as what Professor Tiwari was telling, that now the current crisis, whether it is energy, and the second thing is with regard to the food crisis, actually both have got an interdependence also, because now that energy can be produced even from the agro waste, or maybe any kind of, quite a lot of things are happening because we are producing a lot of wealth from the waste. So now, when we are looking into all these aspects, actually we found that this collectivization is one part where we can pool together all the small and marginal farmers into a kind of a collective, so that actually they will have a common facilities to start, and there's a common negotiating power, so that actually they can bargain for a better cost of input and also the better price for the produce which they produce. And also that these collectives can aid in the kind of a valuation and all those things. So this is one part where actually we are trying to organize. So now we are having close to around 140 million farmers, of which close to around 120 million plus are the small and marginal farmers. Now imagine all these small and marginal farmers are the ones, the backbone of the country, producing close to around 315 million tons of food grains, 330 million tons of fruits and vegetables, close to 30 million tons of sugar, 200 million tons of milk, and a plethora of things, cotton, jute, everything. But at the same time, the stress at the farmer level is very palpable, and really the solutions are required. And despite all the efforts which we are making and the doubling of farmers' income, but the thing is, at some places, this thing is very good, and in some places, actually, it is not so successful. The basic reason for the non-success in some of the regions is because of the lack of access to either advice or the technology which is appropriate to their farms. Actually, that is where actually when NABARD had conceived, because though the incubation centers were there under ICR, NABARD being the largest developmental financial institution with close to around 7.5 trillion as the balance sheet, actually that we feel that actually it is our bounden duty to create a kind of a ecosystem where the new technologies should come in a kind of a little bit of a public-private partnership or any kind of a thing, so that actually the people can pay for the service which they were otherwise not getting it, but at the same time, they would be able to get the services when they require and at whatever be the time and also price which they require. So now these are the things which as a driven NABARD to start this kind of an incubation center. So when the incubation centers concept was created, we say that we will align with maybe agricultural universities, with IITs, with maybe anyone who is having that kind of a thing. And I'm very happy that this particular thing which started, the negotiation started somewhere in 2016-17, but ultimately culminated around 19. And last year when Nishank ji was there, actually it was inaugurated virtually that time. And afterwards, actually it picked up quite a lot of a pace. Actually, I must congratulate the director Saab and also everyone who is involved. Almost, I think in a span of 1 year or less than that, actually we could create the facility. Now here I would like to put the context, actually what is my experience with regard to the other ABICs actually which we are having. Actually in the country as a whole, we are having 7. Actually 2 or 3 of them are doing extremely well. Actually, I'm not saying it's not a boasting, but thing is I can say it's really they're doing extremely well. Some of them have already started having close to around 300 to 400 incubatees, and some of their projects have already reached the commercialization, and some of the entrepreneurs are already getting even the venture capital fund from various sources. So now that itself is the kind of a strength these entire incubation centers are having. And also that the other day, actually, there was an interview on the NDTV that one of the incubatees of our Hisar center, actually that now that today on, I think 1st July onwards, that single-use plastic was banned. And this particular incubator, actually with the help of NABARD and also that incubation center, started working on the biodegradable spoons, cutlery, then every kind of a thing. So now actually that suddenly there was an interview and actually there is quite a lot of a scope has started expanding. So like that, many things are happening elsewhere, everywhere. So now actually we want to see really how these things that can come into this kind of a new real can be made into a kind of a commercial thing. So now that is where this incubation center is working. And actually that we have seen that there are good incubation centers in Madurai, then Telangana Agricultural University, then Hisar, then Gwalior and Banaskant also they started, and IIT actually now having started it. And here actually I got a lot of expectations from IIT because you have a technology mastery. Actually now what we see is that the Indian small farmer is still denied the appropriate machinery for his operations. Now actually this is the thing, because when I went to China, I had seen some of the things actually which I don't know why we still have not done it. Now take the case of weeding in rice cultivation. Entire India has got the rice cultivation, particularly West Bengal is known for the rice cultivation. Weeding is one operation which takes quite a lot of time and also the labor, and today labor is very expensive. Now actually that there actually I've seen that very tiny kind of a tires, actually very thin tires put for the tractor, and with the spines, spike kind of a thing actually say that actually entire weeding is done without any kind of a cost. Actually, the entire weeding cost will be around 200 to 300 rupees instead of spending close to around 5 to 6,000 rupees on labor. Now, actually, this kind of things are required right now. Now, why I am telling is actually the technical wizard actually IIT is having, particularly your agriculture engineering department, and also the kind of a requirement the people of the country requires. Actually, these kinds of things can come into picture, and these can be made into a kind of a startups. Actually, now these people can develop it and they can go ahead with this kind of thing. And the second thing is actually, since you are all from this IIT, actually IoT in agriculture, I don't know many of you, since you are in the core technology, might not have seen, but otherwise, actually, we are experimenting in the watersheds, the IoT, that is cloud-based sensors-based technology, which is directly connected to the valves. Actually, now that irrigation efficiency, water use efficiency has gone up so much. The same irrigation pond created in a watershed, which was irrigating 15 acres before IoT, started irrigating close to 40 acres after. So now, these are the things which right now the country requires. So now, because the farmers have become very small and marginal, they need to be given the correct technology which is suitable to them, and at the same time which increases the productivity. So that is the area where we are trying to work. And NABARD as an institution, actually, we are having a kind of, we wear multifarious, so many hats and perform the multifarious roles. Actually, we give the refinance to the cooperative banks, RRBs and commercial banks at a very subsidized rate. We give money to the state governments to create the infrastructure, and also that we do something actual supervision of institutions. So actually, when doing all these things, we say that if the farmer has to be profitable, he has to have access to the technology, and then only actually he will borrow money from the institutions, make a good profit out of it, and again comes back to the bank, he repays it and again takes it back. So now, actually, when I look into it as from a kind of a perch as to really how the entire agriculture right now is doing it, actually there is a research institutions are already there doing so much for the varieties and all those things, agronomic practices. And the banking institutions are there which are purveying the credit. But what is the missing link between these two is somebody who can take this kind of a research fruits into the farmer's field at the appropriate kind of a cost and also the accessibility. So that is where actually we found that many of the incubators in our incubation centers which are seen is, they're all working on such kind of a technologies, and they're working on such kind of a products where the value addition has become very high and the farmers are able to get quite a lot of a benefit. So now actually that, again, having said the collectivization of farmers through the FPOs, actually we are now aiming at that value addition at every level and the value chain financing in a big way. So that entirely this approach is to just pass on that consumer rupees maximum share to the farmer. If that is the case, actually that somebody should be there at the ground level to handhold the farmers, and that handholding can be done by the startups and as a kind of a business model. And the incubators, actually right now, actually you are taking into your fold, actually these people should be handheld by the professors like you, and at the same time they should be guided in such a way that the good technologies and the good kind of a platforms, good kind of appropriate things can come into it. And so at a later stage, actually, they themselves can become entrepreneurs. Actually, we had seen in many places, this is how things are happening. And definitely IIT with this kind of a maybe pedigree which you have, and also so many maybe reputed alumni which you have produced, running the center is going to create a very big kind of an impact, particularly in East India. Actually, when we selected this IIT Kharagpur, the idea behind is, there are many good institutions in other parts of the country, but East India is still having some kind of a depth of both the institutions and also that kind of a thing. So now, if that is the case, IIT can fit the bill and they can do it. That is where actually we have made the entire thing a reality. So now, having said all these things, actually, I feel that there is a tremendous scope for all of us. And also that reacting to what Dr. Nirmal Bharadwaj has told, that this particular thing is having only very little amount to do the work or anything. Actually, sir, actually, this is not the case. NABARD has got a catalytic capital. Whenever actually you are able to produce successful incubators, the catalytic capital given in some cases, we have given catalytic capital to the tune of close to 1 crore or so also to such kind of a successful incubators. Actually, these things also will come. Actually, once you start working and also maybe our people also get satisfied with all these things, really how the things are happening. Actually, we can give quite a lot of things to the institutions, and also that you are having, that we are having NAB Ventures, a venture capital fund. Actually, one of the incubators in one of the maybe this kind of a foundation. Actually, I had got a venture capital from NABARD, also from our NAB Ventures. So in that way, I think that the sky is the limit so long as the technologies are really reliable, resilient, and appropriate, and have a kind of a business orientation. So all these things are a kind of a maybe the basic fundamentals on which actually that we have to work on. So now, with the kind of a knowledge and also the access to the information which the IIT is having, and also the area in which you are operating, particularly the East India, not only Bengal, not actually Bengal, Bihar, then Jharkhand and also Orissa, they require maybe such kind of an advice to such kind of a thing. So definitely, I wish that you are going to create a mark in this Eastern India, and NABARD is always there with you, and NABARD would definitely like to see really a good amount of incubators, particularly the students who are listening to this one. Actually, they should become a prospective and successful entrepreneurs in the days to come. And also that I incidentally had gone through this coffee book, and it's very well written because I worked in Karnataka for 2 years. I used to go around Coorg, Chikmagalur and others where the coffee and the problems and the prospects and also other things. So once again, I congratulate the others, Nirmalji, and also the team which are worked. And I wish that our incubators and also incubation center also produces such kind of a seminal documents in the years to come. And with this, actually, in the years to come, actually, when the Amrut Kal had started right now, in the next 25 years, NABARD and IIT, I think we should see that the entire agriculture phase is changed and the farmers have become very profitable. And that is the motto behind the entire operations. And we are once again thankful to everyone, particularly the Director Saab and also others, and also my regional office, who have steadfastly behind all of you to see that things are coming to a shape. So thanks once again, and wish that this IIT Kharagpur, as Director Saab was telling, is going to be the beacon for the entire country in the Agri Incubation Centers. Thanks, and thanks a lot.
Actually, I must tell Chintala ji, I am very happy that you raised the point of Amrit Kal. Yes, it is. In fact, just a couple of days back, I think we had a meeting with NABARD, and NABARD wants to have something with us, a center of excellence, which will go till 2047. So in this Amrit Kal, we very nicely said that NABARD and IIT Kharagpur will also go there, and we will be Vishwaguru the way we had thought of. And you reminded me of the book. I think I just missed. I'm sorry, Nirmalji, but I can tell you the core of my heart, I had liked the way you have thought of coffee, because I had gone to the coffee growers sometime in 2015 and then see the plight of those places. So since you have written a book along with our student friends, I congratulate you as well as them, and hope that such a thing will also come up from our EBIC IIT Kharagpur as well, so that we will have so many of such centers, and the role of agriculture engineering at IIT Kharagpur. Nirmalji, you are alumnus of this place. You will create certain book like this, and where forward will be written by our chairman NABARD, Chintalaji. I think with this, I congratulate Nirmal Bharadwaj and other student friends for this book. And I thank Chintalaji that at least we could see each other. Both are away at locations. But let us meet in Bombay if you feel, or you come at Calcutta with me.
Please, sir.
Yes, sir.
Anytime you can just give a call and come down.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Namaskar.
Thank you. Thank you, Director Sir. Thank you, Chintala Sir. ABIF IIT Kharagpur shall definitely strive to live beyond the expectations. So to conclude this event, I would like to invite the Technology Business Manager, Mr. Soumendra Khara, to deliver a thanks note.
we are doing in time. हमने बोल दिया था प्रिंसिपल जी को कि एकदम टाइम मेंटेन करिएगा.
Thank you, Sonal. Sonal, please come.
As I said earlier, for a special welcome and to present our gratefulness to the officials of NABARD who are here with us on the dais, I would request the Deputy Director of IIT Kharagpur to please present a memento to them. May I request the team to please bring the mementos. A memento for the CGM RO Kolkata, Dr. A.R. Khan. Applause, please. A memento from IIT Kharagpur for the CGM RO Kolkata, Madam Usha Ramesh. Next, we would like to present a memento to the DDM NABARD. I would request the TBI manager to please do the honors.
इनका memento I will go and give. I will say this thing. Okay, yeah.
A memento for the General Manager of the Regional Office, Madam Ghosh.
Well, friends, I think the memento of Chintala ji, the chairman board, NABARD, will be given by V.K. Tiwari at a later stage in his office, or he will be called to Kharagpur in my office.
Definitely,
so we hold it for that time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So with that, I would like to invite the TBI manager again for the end note.
Thank you, Sonal. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to all. It gives me an immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks for this special event of ABI IIT Kharagpur to all the dignitaries assembled here and joined in online. We would like to thank to our chief guest, Dr. G.R. Chintala Mahashoy, Chairman NABARD, who honored this function with his inspirational thought. We express our sincere thanks and gratitude for the constant guidance and motivation to the Director IIT Kharagpur and Chairman of BODs of ABIF IIT Kharagpur, Professor V.K. Tiwari Mahashoy. I would like to thank the Chief General Manager of NABARD, Dr. A.R. Khan Mahashoy for his support and guidance, not for only this program, for the operation of ABIF IIT Kharagpur throughout the year. Thank you, sir. Today we got the new CGM of NABARD of West Bengal RO, Srimati Usha Ramesh Mahashaya. Thank you, ma'am, for joining this event. I would like to thank the head of AGF department of IIT Kharagpur and director of ABIF IIT Kharagpur, Professor Rintu Banerjee Madam K, for her solid support system to establish and continue the operation of ABIF IIT Kharagpur. I would like to thank to the Professor H.N. Mishra, Professor in charge and Nodal Officer of ABIC IIT Kharagpur. Today, he is not able to join in this program, but we got support and guidance from him. ধন্যবাদ জানাই সমস্ত টিচিং এবং নন টিচিং ফ্যাকাল্টি মেম্বার্স এবং স্টাফ মেম্বার্সকে যারা এখানে উপস্থিত হয়ে আমাদের এই প্রোগ্রামটাকে সাফল্যমণ্ডিত করেছেন। ধন্যবাদ জানাই সমস্ত ডিপার্টমেন্টকে অফ আইআইটি খড়গপুর যাদের জন্য এই ইনগ্রাল সেরিমনি আমরা সাকসেসফুলি অর্গানাইজ করেছি, যেমন সিভিল, ইলেকট্রিক্যাল, ওয়াটার ওয়ার্ক সেকশন হেডেড বাই শ্রী ভিপি শ্রীবাস্তবা, সেন্টার ফর এডুকেশন টেকনোলজি, সেন্ট্রাল লাইব্রেরি স্পেশালিস্ট মিস্টার সম্রাট গোহরয় এবং হেড অফ দ্য সেন্ট্রাল লাইব্রেরি ডক্টর বি সূত্রধর বাবু। ধন্যবাদ জানাই হর্টিকালচার ডিপার্টমেন্টকে, ধন্যবাদ জানাই সিকিউরিটি অফিস এবং ধন্যবাদ জানাই হিন্দি অফিসারকে। লাস্ট বাট নট দ্য লিস্ট, দ্য টিম অফ ABIF is doing very good job to organize this program, এবং we confirm to all the board of directors, PMRC members of ABIF that we will organize this kind of program very successfully in the future, and we will maintain the operation of ABIF IIT Kharagpur in the near future. Thank you ma'am, and thank you sir.
Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much, everyone, for being so patient. We have arranged snacks and beverages for all of you, for all of our guests. Kindly enjoy the refreshments. And I would request the startups and FPOs to please stay back after taking the refreshments. So I was your hostess for today, TBI Manager at ABIF, Sonal Chaurasia, signing off. Thank you.